Hey guys, welcome to Motivation and That. I'm Natalie, and I'm going to be the host of this podcast. Now, I'm going to have a lot of other guests, so it's not just going to be me and my sign most days chatting with you, but I am really excited for where this whole conversation takes us. Before we get into what this podcast is and isn't, let me just real quick make sure everyone knows what "and that" means, because it's a Pittsburgh term. Pittsburgh's where I'm from, it's where my heart is, and "and that" means "and that." I lucked out, and it's also my nickname, Nat. So when you think about this podcast, the inspiration is motivation and that. So all of the other things that come along with it. Hosted by Nat. So, that being said, let's talk a little bit about what this podcast is. This podcast is a safe place for us to have some really uncomfortable conversations, to dive into what are the mundane but complex underlying pressures that you, me, anyone else we might know might go through. And what does that mean for us, especially when we look back at our history, reflect on how that has gotten us to our present, and then look at how that defines our future? Because, as you know, the term history repeats itself. We're going to be in those scenarios again. And if we don't learn from where we came from, it's probably going to come out very similar to how it did before. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. I also want to make sure no one here treats this as therapy. It's not. There's going to be tears and laughter and definitely some swearing, so prepare yourself. But the whole idea is about the dialogue. And the dialogue being something that I hope people can identify themselves in some way. That either you are kind of in the same wheelhouse of identifying with me, you're identifying with one of my guests, or you're like, wow, Natalie, nothing that you are saying actually resonates. How about you talk about some other topics? And send those my way. I want to know what you're interested in. I want to be challenged just as much to hear other voices, other perspectives, and learn about other things, because this is a journey. There are going to be kinks through this whole process. I'm not going to lie to you, I recorded a scripted version of this intro probably 30 times around. And then my husband and I both looked at it and were like, wow, that's not you, and tossed it out. So now I'm winging it, and hopefully all of this is going to make sense once it's all said and done. But if any of this has sounded interesting to you, then I hope that you will take a second and listen in to an episode or two as we get going. Share it with someone that you know, and let me know, how can we make it better? Or what do you want to hear more about? So episode 1 is really timely for me. My husband's going to join us. He's my better half. I just don't even have words for him. I lucked out with him, for sure. And I have just left my job of 7.5 years, and I don't know what's next. And so I'm sure a lot of us have been through something where a really good friend, a family member, a spouse has come upon a career change. And it is terrifying, not only for that person, but for the whole group around them and for that system. And so Josh and I are going to walk through it. We're going to try to figure out, what the heck do we do? How do we ingest this? How do we learn? And we're going to look back on our experiences with this in the past. And hopefully that's going to make this whole transition going forward a lot better. But I hope you will tune in for what I consider a very aptly named first episode, He Thought I Was Stable. It's going to come to you on a streaming service really soon. And again, I'm so excited to be here with you guys. Talk soon.